We're joined by Austin Dillon. So if you have a question for Austin, please click your raise hand button in the reactions tab and we will get started. Let's kick things off with Claire B. Lang. Go ahead, Claire.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I know what a big deal it is to go to Indy and race. I know that Kevin Harvick said that he just disagrees with it. He feels like Indy should be a heritage race and he doesn't care what the racing is like, you know, going there in the cup cars and racing on the traditional track. And then, of course, it's such a new thing. What are your generic feelings about racing on the road course at Indy, and how tough you think it will be?
Well, you know, I think it's a good question. I think that the oval, I think we lose a crown jewel when we don't go to the oval there. The history of it, you know, I don't think the road course will ever be what the oval history has. So I am disappointed that we don't get the race on the oval. Now, in saying that, I've had a lot of fun on the simulator running the road course at Indy. It seems like a cool track, and I wouldn't mind going twice and doing it two different ways, you know what I mean? Or just a way that if you have to run the road course, we still want to be able to run the oval because of the history there and the legacy. Everybody wants a real Brickyard trophy. I feel like this weekend when you win there, it's not going to be like winning on the oval. So that's my opinion.
So how do you look at, you know, you're going to get some experience in the Xfinity race, and that's really helpful, how much that will lend or what you need to know to be able to, all of you drivers, and then you, Austin Dillon, to be able to pull it off, you know?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge to get the Xfinity race in on Saturday. I think it was good this past weekend, and anytime you can just get on the track, I think you start fresh for the Cup race. So I'm really excited about running the Indy road course race. I know Billy Scott and everybody at Our Motorsports has worked hard. It's the same car we brought this past weekend. We had to fix the track bar this week, and those guys have been working hard on it. So it'll be great just to get track time and really see what that track's all about.
Good to see you, Austin. Good to see you. Good luck, okay?
Yep.
All right, we'll take our next question from Bob Pockers. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Austin, how nervous are you about trying to make the playoffs? And I know you've improved on road courses, but the fact that there's another road course, does that make it even more nerve-wracking?
No, I mean, I've been pretty, you know, calm really about it. You know, I know the situation I'm in. It's unfortunate the amount of winners that we've had this year. I feel like we'd be well in a safe place right now, but we're not. You know, it's just the situation we're in, and we're racing our teammate. But I'm pretty confident after being on the sim a couple weeks at Indy. I usually don't pick up the road courses on the simulator very fast, but for some reason Indy came to me pretty quick, and which is, you know, good, I think, for what we're going into. I think qualifying's the biggest thing on my mind right now for this coming weekend is getting a good qualifying position. Because I know how important the way it is. It's so hard to pass on all these road courses, and they get strung out that the starting position matters. So putting a lot of focus into the qualifying and trying to make sure that we start up front and give ourselves the best way to get points. Because I feel like, you know, I mean, we got a 15-point gap right now, and if we can maintain or gain a little this weekend, I feel like the next 2 weeks are great tracks for us, and we'll be in a pretty decent situation going into Daytona if we're in the same situation. If it is a points game, you know, I obviously like to lock ourselves in with the win, and you know, just don't want any new winners. That would really put us out. So yeah, I'm in a pretty good calm situation, and calm as far as my mental state. You know, I've been working out, just ready to go race and see what it brings us. You know, I think we've been very consistent this year, just haven't had the speed that we want at some of these tracks, but the road course stuff has been fun and such an improvement for me that, you know, I've loved to go back to some of these road courses a second time of what I've learned this year.
And of all the road courses you've run this year, what would be the most comparable to Indy?
Wow. It's so flat. So the elevation change, we've gotten elevation change at every track that we've gone to. I'd say Daytona has a little less elevation change. So for me, I really don't know, because the asphalt at Indy is so different, the way the grooves are cut in it. And you know, you need a lot of lateral grip there. Sonoma, I think braking force wise is probably going to be similar. The amount of brake force and stuff like that, because it seems like the track falls off a little bit. So, I mean, I'm thinking maybe Sonoma, Daytona in between there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll take our next question from Woody Kane. Go ahead, Woody.
Hey, Austin, I appreciate your time. Wanted to look ahead for a week to Michigan. First time fans will be there in 2 years, and you got the Heritage Trophy on the line, and you'll have a little bit of a different racing experience, I think, even though it's a big wide track. Tell me about this package there and the experience.
Yeah, Michigan's been a fun race for us in the 3-team last couple of years. So we always circled the 2 events we had, and we canceled one this year. So really focused on this one. Obviously, in the point situation we like going to places that we've had success at in the past. And, everybody at RCR has put a lot of focus on our car for that weekend, knowing that's a good place for us. So we'd like to go there and show out for our partners at Dow and Chevrolet. Dow's based out of Midland up there, and it's always good to go put on a good show for everyone that helps us get to the track each and every weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll take our next one from Zach Dean. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, Austin, it's kind of the same question about Daytona, and obviously you want to get a win before that, but do you like the fact that you get Daytona as a final race of the regular season? You've been really good there, obviously. Do you like where it is on the schedule, and kind of what is your confidence level knowing that you still have Daytona on the schedule, with one last chance to get in?
Yeah, I think that gives the confidence to you going as being the last race of the year. In the situation I am in right now, I think if I'm in other situations down the road, it would probably be more stressful. But for me, we're in a little bit of a nothing to lose attitude right now, because we got to gain on our teammate, and if not, we got to win somehow. So Daytona is that place, and it gives us an opportunity with our ECR horsepower. And I don't know, we've just had the ability to keep that number 3 at the front when we go to Daytona. I like it. It's a magical place, and I've had some great runs there. So I'm pumped that it's the last race of our regular season.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Tucker White.
Austin, we've seen so looking ahead to Charlotte Motor Speedway, we've seen that the service there looks like it was just repaved only a few days ago, and yet it's about 15 or 16 years old at this point. So given that, what kind of tire wear do you see there compared to, say, a track like Darlington with a service as old as it?
I'm a bit confused by the question. So you said Charlotte is what you're asking about?
Yes. The service there is about 15 or 16 years old at this point, and yet it looks like it was repaved just yesterday. So what kind of tire wear do you see there compared to, say, Darlington, which is just as old as it?
I didn't know Charlotte got repaved. I thought they were working on Atlanta. So that's why I'm confused about the question. If they repaved Charlotte, it must be like the infield maybe or something. Surely they didn't repave the big track. But anytime you have a repave, it takes a couple races or years to get the track grip where it's a little more racy because you're kind of one groove. But yeah, I think you might have saw Atlanta. I might be wrong.
I think I might have phrased the question wrong, so I'll just let Dustin have his turn.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Chase Wilhelm. Go ahead, Chase.
Hey, Austin, thanks for joining us. I noticed that you've been hitting the gym.
I lost you. You guys hear me?
We can hear you. Chase, we may have lost you.
So instead of me tweeting.
Chase, if you want to message me your question, we can circle back to you. We'll go to Dustin Long.
Okay.
Thank you. A couple things, Austin, and kind of talking about that Daytona race. Obviously, last year was the first year as the regular season finale. Again, you didn't have to worry about it with the win. Did you notice that the racing was that much different with that being a regular season finale with the perceived, I guess, level of desperation by some? And if so, is that what you anticipate what it could be for you or others in a couple weeks?
Yeah, for some reason, I can't really recall that particular race in my mind. Usually I'm pretty good at that, but I think we were kind of coasting in because we knew we were in the playoffs. But Daytona and Talladega are always intense because there's an opportunity there. And with it being the final regular season race, there's some that will go about it as, hey, I got to get to the checkered flag to have a chance to win. And then there's some that think they got to lead every lap. So I'll definitely be rewatching it and kind of seeing how people played it and who was aggressive in those moments. But it's so easy to get aggressive and wipe out half the field there that, so many things happen at the speedways with the errant move or an aggressive move and take a lot of people out early. So you don't want to be in that situation. But we've been pretty successful at the speedways by keeping ourselves in up front. But I've seen guys get wrecked leading. So anything can happen at these places. You got to have good strategy and then also a fast car that kind of keeps you out of the way and a bit of luck.
Also with Indianapolis, as you've done the work on the sim, have you noticed much of a tire fall off? Is it any more so or any less so than some of the other road courses? Obviously, we've seen road courses this year where there hasn't been as much fall off, so it takes away from some of the strategy per se.
Yeah, so our tire model is kind of built off of one grip level. We do take grip away to see what it's like on a 10, 15 lap run. But it's kind of hard to tell without getting there with that tire and really knowing. But there's we have people at Chevrolet that kind of predict what that fall off is going to be. And those predictions, we try and get them as accurate as possible and kind of build around knowing that our tires are going to fall off or whatnot. So we've got a prediction. We need to prove it out in practice.
Thank you.
All right. And Chase wanted to give it another try. Let's see if this works now.
Okay, let's try this again. Austin, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, perfect. Sorry about that. So my question was, I see that on Instagram and stuff, you've been hitting the gym pretty hard with Paul Swan, one of your pit crew guys, there every day. And you had mentioned working out this week and all that. I'm just curious, what does that do for I know inside the car, it helps you improve, and things like that. But what about your mentality as far as being in a pressure situation, like trying to make the playoffs and being below the cut line? What does working out that intensely do for your mentality through the weekend and going to the weekend?
Well, hopefully in any situation in the car, you feel good. You don't want to have a point where you don't feel strong enough to be the same driver every lap. Last week in Watkins Glen, it was pretty hot and it was a tough physical race. And, anytime you can put yourself in a better situation, your heart rate, everything, health-wise, I think it's better. You're more clear mentally. I noticed a lot of the guys switching to those cool shirts. I'm definitely going to probably try that coming up this weekend. Actually, the first race we're going to have that. I ran it in Michael Annette's car when I jumped in that, and it was a big game changer. But, anytime you can keep yourself in a good physical shape, I've worked out with Paul during the off week. He'll kill you. He works out for hours. So I've been back at the gym with our trainer, and it's a little more based on what I do in the car and staying more mobile and keeping my body right. So I'm stretched out and feel good when I get in the race car. And yeah, healthy is a good thing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Austin. Well, it looks like that's all we've got for you. Thank you so much for taking some time to join us. We wish you the best of luck this weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.